Good morning, Izzy.
Morning, guys.
Ready to rock and roll through this Monday morning?
Yeah, let's go.
Uncle Buck.
You guys ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Good morning, everybody. April 28th, Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. We got a couple episodes here with Grant Cardone. We're going to still continue on with advanced strategies. Today is invites and regular newsletter. Newsletter again.
Invites. Look, people love invites. John, the next time you're in Miami, come see me. Come see me for dinner. Me, you, the wife, the kids will go to dinner. You know what we'll do? We'll do lunch at the beach. We'll do dinner that night. Even if they pass, it's an investment in this personal contact. Or maybe you want to tell people, look, I have limited number of seats for an exclusive briefing on a new product release. Maybe it's a client that just hit your website. I have 2 seats open. We would love to invite you to it. Again, think creatively, okay? Think creatively about how you can really impress someone with an invite immediately after they've contacted either your website, your phone, or come to visit your showroom floor. Look, I'd like you to be my guest at this event that we have coming up. It's 2 months away. It doesn't have to be an immediate invite. It could be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. It could be next year. But it's impressive. People love invites. Use them as a way to follow up. Use regular newsletters or blogs. Look, newsletters are a great way for you to stay in touch and actually establish, justify, and bring credibility to yourself and your brand. What do you do in a newsletter? Look, in a newsletter, it's not about selling you or selling your product or talking about everything you've done well, even though you can have a little bit of that. The purpose of a newsletter or a blog is to keep your customers front of mind. I wrote about this in my book, If You're Not First, You're Last. You want to be first in the buyer's mind. That means I got to drop data. Okay, now I write a newsletter every Friday. Every Friday, if you go to grantcardonesuccess.com, you can sign up for that. It's free. What am I doing with that newsletter? Providing people with content. I'm not saying buy my product. There's no ads in it. I don't need to do that. I need to remind people who I am, where I am, what I do, and then I want to give data, okay, top of mind. Come out of obscurity. Remember the percentage of people that you have that are just wandering around for 12 months. I think the number's like almost 20% of the clients that you talk to today won't buy for 3 months. 80% might not buy in the first year. Some 79% may never convert. I mean, these are crazy numbers. So what do you want to do? Keep dripping, keep paying attention to them. Newsletters should be filled with helpful information, advising people mistakes. Hey, when you go to buy this, these are the mistakes to look out for, or what to look out for, or what kind of company is a good company to do with, or how to validate that it's a good company or a good product, how to find the right place to go to or the right place to live if you're in real estate, or the zip codes to avoid, or the best school systems if you're in real estate. You see what I'm saying? I'm using information that any home buyer would want. If it's mortgages you're doing, talk about LIBOR rates, treasuries, stay in your space, be the pro. Maybe you want to, give people your best pick of the week for the house, the car, the plumbing, the house you worked in, the customer you had. I mean, it's just an endless list of things you can do. And you're like, man, Grant, I don't have time to do this. Look, I can blow your business up if you follow up right. I can literally 2x, 3x, 4x, maybe 10x your business if you commit to this follow-up. So if you don't have time to do the follow-up, there's going to be somebody in your marketplace that does. Now, one word of note. Please make sure that people in your database have given you permission to receive your newsletter. It's irritating if you're just spamming someone. Actually, some people say it's illegal. You can use programs like MailChimp, Constant Contact, Aweber to ask people to confirm that they actually want this, okay? All right, use the newsletter. Start blogging. Do both, at least do one of them.
Boom.
Do something.
Do
Just
something.
do it. Go Nike on their ass. Just do it.
In college, I used to, it worked every time. Invite, like, instead of asking girls out on a date, it's kind of like stuffy. Invite them to a barbecue at my house, and there was never a barbecue until they said yes, and then barbecue happened. You know, so like
Hit first and figure the rest out.
Yeah.
That's smart. See?
Yep.
Yeah. You're way
And
less
it's like
intimidated.
unassuming, you know. Yeah, bring your friends. It's cool. You know.
And have some wieners.
Yep.
Nice. Aaron's world. I love it.
Love it. See?
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
always a different way to look at that perspective, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Kind of like what Grant talked about, right? He didn't have that little booklet yet, but he started promoting it anyways. And then
Yeah.
when people bought them, he's like, oh shit, I gotta write the booklet now.
And we barbecued almost any night anyway, so it was just like it was like a Tuesday, you know. So
Nice.
It sounds better. Barbecue sounds better. You want to come over to my place for dinner?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's funny that you brought up that newsletter again. And then we talked about it on Saturday. Newsletter is a great way to, get your word out. I like how Grant broke it down there. Tips, what to avoid, mistakes, and then just a quick call to action. So we got one coming up here soon.
Nice.
Bam! The greatest blog coming soon.
The greatest.
That's cool.
Love it. Let's see here. Did some stuff with Grok over the weekend. Let's see if I can figure it out.
I took a picture. I was in Santa Cruz walking through the harbor with my dad on Sunday morning, and we were looking at a bird, and he's like, "What is that?" I don't know. It's like an egret or a heron. And I took a picture, put it into Grok, and it was like a midnight blue heron. Just the thing knows everything. It's like little things. So I think the more we implement AI into regular life, you're going to start to see more and more what it can do and start testing it on all these different fronts. I'm testing it with things I already know the answer to see what it comes out with, and it's pretty good. Some things it just isn't there yet, but pretty good.
Yeah, I was asking for to do some market research.
Super Grok.
Yeah, super Grok. Don't do anything halfway. And what I was asking was, how many contractors, A-licensed contractors in the Bay Area do over $10 million a year. And it gave me a shit ton of data that was way more than I wanted. But at the end of the day, there's only like 100, which, you'd think that there'd be more than that, but there's not. There's only 3. I think it's 300 to 400.
Will you share this on the screen?
I can try. Will you dongle me?
I'd cut you off.
No, that's a good point. Oh, but I have to actually share.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, people. It's Monday morning.
Bam.
Not that I'm not always a little slow, but at least I got a excuse. All right. So anyways, I just started by asking how many contractors there are within a 50-mile radius, right? And I think she said there was 1 to 400 A-licensed contractors. And I think up here somewhere I asked the same question and included B licensed contractors. And I think there's about 2,000 to 4,000 is what they're saying. Seriously?
No. I think his computer died.
Yeah. We lost power. We lost power, people. No, it was here, but the little red
I'll
switch
talk.
got.
Can I talk about Anita while you're
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Victor, you still there? Yeah, he is.
Still here.
Yeah, looks like you nailed those concrete numbers for Anita. So I think he was pretty happy with with that number, that I don't know percentage wise where we're at. He's still got a good job, but your numbers were right where he thought they should be. So that's pretty good. And I think the rest of our numbers were pretty good too.
Good. I really went back and forth with those numbers from Toll Brothers. And
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm gonna use as far as my base right now
yeah.
for these bigger projects. Kind of keep an eye on the market and see how the numbers look. But I felt pretty confident in those numbers when I sent them over. It's like this will work out really good. So
Yeah, Sean called me on Saturday
Yeah.
morning, I think, and he had talked to Jim and the guy, he was stoked. And I think the hurdle is Jim just selling himself on the job, because the other contractor he's competing against is missing, but like, 7 figures worth of stuff in his proposal. And so it's like, hey, this guy doesn't have everything, we do. Like, what do you want to do here? Do you want
Perfect.
the job done, or do you want to change order yourself to death? Or I don't know how the conversation goes, but complete
Perfect.
package is important to a builder or to an owner that like wants a successful project. So hopefully they're thinking on that level,
Perfect. That's great. And then on a different note, Sean, are we doing the standard 5% on this one?
We didn't. We can talk about that later, but yeah, we'll
Okay.
figure something out.
All right, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I did talk to Jim on Saturday. I couldn't help myself. And he said he thought the meeting went well. He was still waiting for, for the owners to do their thing.
Understood.
And so, yeah, I mean, I felt good about it after the conversation. I had to call Aaron, tell him, hey, feel good about this one.
Good.
So,
Good. I
yeah.
think we're getting to where we talked about, Aaron, where we're kind of starting to get to know numbers, where we can start, just punching in the same numbers that we have and kind of floating them over to potential future projects. So
yeah.
I think I'm pretty stoked of where we're going with this right now.
Yeah, we're just establishing the database, and anytime there's a project that's similar, like the more different types of projects we bid together and on our own for that matter, we just you have more data to go off of, and that's pretty powerful to be able to throw a ROM estimate out there to someone and they go, oh, okay, it's going to cost this much, and then you get into the nitty gritty and buy it out later.
Yeah. It's it's a good progress right now.
So anyways, am I sharing?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just interesting because I was listening to Brandon, and he's talking about understanding what your market looks like, right? Making decisions based on facts and figures and data. So I got into this thinking, okay, well, let's see what the data says. And the data says that there's really only about 100 contractors doing over 10 million a year. And there's I think it's 5 to 10 that are in that over 50 million a year range. So you really, you think about like, what's the competition like? It's not as big a space as you think. Like, it kind of puts it in perspective that for us to take the 100 contractors to 10 million, we're basically doubling the pool of that lower size contractor base, right? So, and out of that, only, I want to say, I think it was about 10 to 15 that are in that, call it 500 million and above, or 100 million and above. So we got a pretty good pool. And part of why I was doing this was looking for where we should be putting our emphasis, where we should be putting our focus on finding our next clients, right? So just something interesting. But as I was doing it, I thought, okay, well, these are the kinds of things that, we could polish this up and use it in the newsletter, right? Talking about what's the market value. The market value is about $7 billion, they say, right? in the Bay Area, as defined by what they call the Bay Area, which is pretty much in that 50-mile radius. So $7 billion worth of work, and there's only 100 contractors in that doing over 10 million a year. That means there's a shit ton of opportunity still out there, right?
Yeah.
A lot of room for growth. So just something for us to think about. Pretty. Let's see, how do I get back? All right. Well, that's all I got. Well, that's not true. I always got more. Let's see. Jared killed it last week. Pretty sure he surpassed $10 million in estimates that went out. We had a great conversation about Anita. We've got a really nice project from Toll Brothers that we'll be putting a complete package together for. We finished up Jacaranda. We're starting phase 2 of Walmart last night. And we've got a little underground job for JP Whitney that we got to get back to them on. Heather agreed to come back for a 3rd week, so we're good. And the search for the estimator continues. So all good shit, man. How you doing, Michael? It's good to see you back.
Thank you. I've been better, but I'm ready to get back on the ball. So
all right, buddy. Well, I'm glad you made it back, and you got a week and a day. Got a week and a day to go, man.
yeah, I'll finish it off strong. Yeah, I'll finish it off strong. For sure.
They yank your tooth or what?
Not yet. No, May 6th. But they put me on painkillers and antibiotics. So
yeah, I feel good.
yeah.
Right on, guys. Appreciate everybody taking time on their Monday morning, and we will see you all again mañana.
See you guys.